Can y'all give it up for Verix here? Let me hear it one more time.
I can't believe it, too. All the way from Senegal. First time in America, first time at Evo. Congrats to him.
Verix, a Guilty Gear Pro player from Senegal, West Africa, with a 5th place finish at Evo, has just put African gaming on the map. But this isn't just a story about Verix and its incredible skills that Guilty Gear strive, but a story about a region that arguably doesn't get as much opportunities or recognition in a gaming scene, but that appears to be changing. The late 90s saw the decline of arcade gaming, and console gaming was on the rise. And with the release of PlayStation 1, the trajectory was rapidly moving from amusement or penny arcade, as they were called, to the homes of video game players. But in the early 2000s, this was rather the opposite in some parts of Africa. You see, the arcade gaming experience wasn't really huge in every part of the continent. Yet, in West Africa, there was rather a different kind of arcade gaming that was closely associated with the rise of video game consoles, which brought about the popular term amongst Nigerian children in the early 2000s, game house. Game houses are similar to penny arcade that was popular in the 80s in Europe, Asia and the Americas, but in this case it was mostly powered by video game consoles like the Sega Genesis and the PlayStation in later years, rather than the arcade machines. And during this period, almost all gaming activities were taking place offline in every part of the world, and Africa was no exception. But in the forthcoming years, we saw the rise of not just online gaming, but online everything.
Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along.
The future of gaming.
The groundbreaking PlayStation 3.
And we are calling it iPhone.
The world have gone digital, and we've seen huge benefits in terms of gaming. With online PvP and multiplayer, we've been able to enjoy different types of games, ranging from Battle Royale to 1v1 in each other across the world in our favorite fighting games and FIFA. Just as long as you have a good connection to the servers, of course. And this, my friend, is where the average African gamer's experience is different to most part of the world. This is mainly due to the lack of servers, especially when it comes to AAA games. Most games that involves an online PvP matchmaking automatically turns the experience of every gamer in the continent into a high-ping gaming experience. When you're playing a game from any African country, you're mostly connected to the servers in Europe. This gives us the lowest ping depending on the game you happen to be playing, and by lowest I mean 100 ping in the best case scenarios. Also, depending on which country you live in the northern part of Africa, you could sometimes be connected to servers in Asia or the Middle East, as some people call it, which may or may not improve your ping. A great example of this can be seen in Fortnite, arguably the most popular battle royale game ever created. And just like every other AAA games, there are no African servers. So gamers like myself in Africa only ever play on iPing, and you can tell that that is not a fun gaming experience. And when there are online tournaments or qualifiers like the big Fortnite World Cup in 2019 or FSCS, African gamers are already playing at a disadvantage, which more often than not leads to lack of representation in the biggest gaming tournaments and events. But despite these unpleasant circumstances, some African gamers have managed to rise to the competition and represent the continent in the biggest gaming tournament, and I managed to get an interview with the best of them all. And currently, there's none bigger than the Guilty Gear Pro player from Senegal, representing Africa at Evo 2023, the 5th best Guilty Gear Strive player in the world, Verix. Welcome to the channel, Verix. Thanks for doing this with me. So I wanted to ask, so what about online? When it comes to Guilty Gears, you say you've been playing Guilty Gears for 2 years now?
Yes.
So for 2 years, and how has your experience been playing Guilty Gears online tournaments? And I'm not just talking about playing ranked or playing like normal casuals.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so the first year of the game, I was playing like the first couple of months I was just playing casually. Then I tried to enter some tournaments because the netcode is really good for the game. The first time I entered a tournament, like I was basically hiding my region because I did not want to get. I wanted to play in the tournament. So So I played a couple of times. I won,
Oh,
but
great.
then at some point I had to tell them that I live in Africa and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They said no, we can't really let you play because we have to tell in the US that you should allow your vision, etc., etc. It was really complicated. Then I couldn't play like in online tournaments for a good amount of time.
Oh,
Yes, it was pretty annoying. But there
very.
is
I can
yes,
understand
yes.
it.
But then the TO I talked to, shout out to him. He really helped me get to the second season of the tournament. So basically, I was able to play, and I played this tournament. It was pretty well. I did pretty well. Like I won most of them.
Oh.
Yes, I won most of them. Exactly. So I was playing European players.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, only Europeans.
Oh, okay, okay.
But I have to do a lot of stuff, convince the TO, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
to tell them to allow
Allow you.
Senegal. Yes, because the connection is really good in this game. Yes, like even now I experience that like they basically, if European players, some of them like don't want to play in hyping.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like we can avoid that, but
Yeah,
like,
but it's also not
it's playable.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not it's not bad. It's not necessarily bad that they don't want to
Yes.
play on hyping, but it's the fact that it still is very playable. Is there anything like, obviously you're a pro player yourself, playing a fighting game, for your online tournament experience or online gaming as an African playing from Africa? Is there anything like you wish a game like Guilty Gears, because that's the game you play, right? The main game you play.
Honestly, like one of the goals is basically accomplished. Like recently in the last update, they put servers in Africa.
They did? Oh, that's good.
Yes, they did. I
What-
don't know if it's because I made top 6 at Evo or whatever, but they basically did it. I hope I hope other companies like Capcom and everything consider Africa as a region.
Yeah.
And remove their region lock matchmaking or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because you can only filter the connection you have with certain people. So why restricting this to only Africa? And there is not that many players.
Yeah, there's that.
Here, like I really want this company to see what's happening here.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty sad.
There's a lot of good players here. Like you're an example yourself. For you to go to Evo, first time on the tournaments and make top 5, it's no mean feat. It's not like you've been to Evo a couple of times. This was your first Evo, and you performed at the highest level. So that shows there's a lot of talent here. So if they make the experience a bit easier, it will. There's a rise already on gaming, and the gaming scene in Africa. There's a rise on it, and I think the experience for fighting games online is much better. So I'd like to use this opportunity to thank Verix for granting me this interview. Such a nice guy, a top player. And if you want to listen to the complete discussion, I can link it down in the description. I know it's a shared experience amongst every African. I've played it. I started playing games as a child, and playing online, it's just a struggle. And it's not the matter of your internet connectivity, because you can afford a game most of the times. You can afford a good internet, but there's little your internet connectivity can do when you have no servers. So yeah, share your thoughts in the comment down below, what countries you play from. Even if you're European or you have friends that play and make complaints about connections or every other part, I think, like Middle Eastern people also have shared experience. But all the same, thank you for watching, and you can click on one of the end screen and watch my next video if you do enjoy my video, and I'll catch you lot in the next one. Cheers.